introduce Mr. Nihal Kaviratne, who would be giving us his talk about the Centers of Hope. Mr. Nihal Kaviratne is a co-founder of St. Judes India Child Care Center with his better half, Shyama Kaviratne, and they founded it in 2006 to fill the vital needs felt by the doctors at Tata Memorial Hospital, Mumbai. In this short span of 10 years, it has grown from a shelter for just 8 needy children who were undergoing treatment for cancer in Mumbai to an institution that provides free accommodation and holistic care to 460 children and their families every day in 9 cities across India. This holistic care provided by St. Jude's completes the circle of care between what the treating hospitals provide and what the child's unmet needs are. He also donned several other hats. Previously, he had 40 years experience at the Unilever, and he was chosen as one of the 25 leaders at the forefront of change by Business Week in 2002. He was also awarded CBE, that is the Commander of the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire, in 2004. Apart from other responsibilities, he is also a member of Global Corporate Resilience Advisory Committee of the McKinsey and a member of the governing board of Bombay Mother and Children Welfare Society and member of Private Sector Portfolio Advisory Committee in India of the UK Government's Department of International Development, DFID. I would like to invite Sir Mr. Nihal Kaviratne to address us with his talk, The Centers of Hope. Mr. Kaviratne, please.
Good evening. It is impossible to follow that exquisitely beautiful performance that we just witnessed. So I'm not going to try and compete with that, but to tell you a small story about children. They come from distant villages and small towns. They are children of farmers, landless laborers, boatmen, small shopkeepers, village school teachers. The child is first treated with paracetamol by a village paramedic. When this does not work, they get blood work done at the nearest small town. Fear strikes. They then sell and borrow and travel, sometimes for 4 days, to a large city in search of a miracle cure. Non-medical expenses make up half of the total expenses of these families. And there is a complete loss of income during the treatment. More often than not, a diagnosis of cancer results in the family being financially wiped out. Childhood cancers have a very high cure rate. The survival rate in developed countries is around 80%. The national average for survival in India is less than 40%. Lack of access to treatment, the abandonment of treatment, explain the difference. The number of children affected by cancer in India is expected to rise by around 30% over the next 5 years. Cancer treatment is long drawn, and mostly for these children it's outpatient chemo or radiation therapy. Without comprehensive support, completing the treatment for them is an uphill task, resulting in predatory infections getting these children before the cancer does. Poor nutrition, depression, abandonment of treatment, all this leads to a high incidence of premature deaths. And that is where we play a small part. In 2005, when Shama, my wife, and I returned to India after living overseas for 22 years, we were looking to bridge a need gap in health care for children. And we talked to several NGOs working in the field, and we did not want to duplicate the excellent work that these NGOs were doing. And then we talked to the hospitals, the doctors at Tata Memorial. The doctors told us how heartbroken they were about seeing the child patients they had treated during the day living on the streets outside the hospital when the doctors left late at night. We saw for ourselves the plight of these families living on the streets. We saw that firsthand. And on the 27th of January 2006, I was called up on a stage like this at the Children's Cancer Day function at the Tata Memorial Hospital, and a mic was thrust in my hand, and I looked down on a sea of little faces. All of them were bald. All of them were wearing masks. Several of them had IV ports stuck in their arms. But they were joyful, they were ebullient, they were expectant, and I made a rash promise. I said that no child from a village or a small town coming in for treatment at a hospital in a large city like Mumbai with accompanying parents would have to suffer living on the streets. Our friends thought we were mad, but they soon rallied round to help. And beginning with that small prototype center for 8 families in the BDD Chawls in Mumbai in 2006, St. Jude's now operates 39 centers and supports nearly 500 families at any given time in 9 cities across India. The centers have seen over 20,000 admissions over the past 14 years, giving these families 800,000 nights of peaceful sleep. Now, I know that 20,000 is a small number. In the last 1 year, the hospitals here have registered 20,000 patients. So we're a small drop following a large drop in an even larger ocean. But we're trying to make a real difference. Because over 80% of the children have recovered, and not one St. Jude's child has abandoned treatment. Tomorrow morning, Dr. Badve will open 2 new St. Jude's centers here in Varanasi, in premises which Dr. Pradhan and Dr. Banavali have very graciously given us until the new building in the Children's Hospital is ready for occupation. St. Jude's plans to set up centers in all those cities where the Tata Memorial Hospital is going, as you heard earlier. And with this ambitious expansion, including the one planned in Mumbai, out at Karga, where an additional 220 families will be accommodated, we will be caring for 1,000 families by 2024. What is it that we do in our work? First, our sole purpose is to support the work of the doctors, whose devotion to these needy patients has been our primary inspiration. Were it not for doctors like Dr. Badve, Dr. Sharma, Dr. Pramesh, Dr. Banavali, and now Dr. Pradhan and his colleagues, there would be no St. Jude's. The doctors are the wind beneath our wings. Next, every everything we do for these needy patients is totally free of cost. We don't charge them a cent. Our most significant donor is the Tata Trusts, to whom we remain deeply grateful. And again, without them, there would be no St. Jude's. Families quickly realize that what we provide is not just a roof over the heads while the child is being treated. It is a loving, caring, nurturing place where the child heals physically and the entire family is nurtured emotionally with empathy and compassion. Soon the families in the center all bond together like an extended family. They look after each other. All differences of region, language, religion all become unimportant. For the children, it is a haven where they easily forget the rigors of the treatment they're going through, the trauma at the hospital. There is an education program that ensures that the children remain involved in learning so that when they go back to their schools, they haven't fallen too far behind. There's art-based therapy, there's music, there's yoga. All these help the children de-stress and recover their lost motor skills. There are playground facilities, there are birthday celebrations, there are recreational outings to keep them busy. These are centers of hope, not despair. These are centers of joy. Our counselors at these centers, they're at hand to listen to the parents who are very angry, listen to the older children, help them navigate through their travails. In addition, the parents at our centers, they learn new vocational skills. This enables them to find different and greater financial independence. They learn, the mothers, they learn basket making, tailoring, embroidery. They learn basic spoken English. The fathers are taught to repair mobile phones, which are ubiquitous throughout the villages and towns of India. They're taught to repair two-wheelers, welding, computer skills. It is always a poignant moment when a family goes home after staying at one of our centers for a prolonged duration. There are tears, there are smiles, there are expectations, there's fear, there's a gamut of many other emotions which fill their hearts as they leave the security of the safe haven they've lived in and that they've known during their most difficult days. It is heartening to hear from the returning families how much of the daily routine at St. Jude's they try to follow when they go back home. They attribute the recovery of their child to the St. Jude's regimen of loving care on the one hand and discipline on the other. The home could be just a mud hut with a door and a window, but the parents ensure that the hygiene levels when they go back home are maintained and the schedule of St. Jude's is followed. Apart from the primary outcome of children who stay healthy and happy during therapy, and more importantly, complete the treatment, St. Jude's is happy to see that our culture of compassion, equality, don't forget they come from an environment of inequality, and the high standards of hygiene and sanitation and the nutrition that we help them understand are some things that they take back, they imbibe, and they carry back with them to their villages, sharing this new knowledge to the benefit of a larger group, convincing them that it's all right to take a girl into a big city. Earlier we used to get 6 boys for every girl. Now we get 1 girl for every 2 boys. Several of these families, they mobilized their local communities to construct toilets that are almost identical to the ones we have at our centers, even down to the blue and white colors of the tiles in the toilets. Our staff are in regular touch with these families when they go home. They track their general well-being and they ensure that they return on the due dates. It's like running a hotel chain. This also ensures that they do not drop out for whatever reason. With the growing number of children who have recovered, we need more centers. When we start a center, they're all new admissions, but very soon the returnees swamp the capacity that we have, and we have to accommodate these increased numbers seeking treatment as awareness of the curability of childhood cancer spreads. Now our efforts have not gone unnoticed, praise God. St. Jude's has the highest CRISIL rating, a voluntary organization rating of VO1A. It has a 5-star rating from Give India, the leading aggregator for voluntary donations. It's also certified as the best place to work. We were awarded the Kimpro Gold Award for Quality and the Mariko Award for Innovation. And in the recent book that Mariko has launched called 7 Sutras on stories of scale-ups that are transforming India, this features the story of St. Jude's. So today, when our first children who have begun to shine in their chosen fields, some of them today, the first ones, are entering university. And they come back to us to share their successes with us. These are moments of great joy for us. Recently, one of our girls got married and brought her husband to visit St. Jude's. For her, this place was important. Noteworthy that her family had taken cancer in their stride. It was not something to be hidden when she got married. I honestly wish I could take you all to experience firsthand the magic of these places. Instead, I've brought you a brief video clip, so bear with me while you have a look at that. And with that, I will end and thank you all, and God bless you all.